This week we're going to begin exploring direct ways of assessing students' reading skills. And as we go into reading assessment, it's important to understand the skills that are being targeted, what we're actually assessing. So to start, I wanted to go over the big ideas in beginning reading, which are then linked to all of the assessment methods that we're going to talk about this week and then also next week. As a little background, in the 90s, Congress established a national reading panel to determine which methods of teaching reading are most effective. And they reviewed more than 100,000 reading studies on how children learn to read and identified key components of effective instruction. And they found overwhelming evidence that explicit instruction in phonemic awareness, systematic phonics instruction, fluency, and comprehension are critical for teaching children to read, and these became the 5 big ideas in beginning reading. Phonemic awareness refers to the ability to hear and manipulate the sounds in spoken words. So it's the understanding that words are made up of individual sounds, and this is a skill separate from words in print. So it doesn't involve letter-sound correspondence or words in text. This is just about spoken language and understanding and being able to hear and manipulate that words are made of different sounds. Phonemic awareness can be demonstrated through skills including blending, so blending individual phonemes into words. So if I said to someone d, a, g, and asked them to blend that until they made it into dog. And then segmentation exercises where students are asked to identify the first sound or last sound or all of the sounds included in a word. So if we talk, the example in your documents is mop. So what sound does mop start with? And the students would say And again, we're not asking for M because that's getting to letter sound correspondence. We just want the sound, the first sound, the last sound. So we're talking about and P. Research on phonemic awareness suggests it is the best predictor of reading difficulty in kindergarten or first grade, that it plays an important causal role in the development of beginning reading, that you need these phonemic awareness skills to go on and develop beginning reading skills. And there is evidence that a big difference between good and poor readers is this lack of phonemic awareness skills. Now when we talk about the alphabetic principle, here we're talking about the understanding that letters represent sounds and that words are made up of letters, and we represent the sounds that go into a word through the use of letters. And so through the alphabetic principle, we're talking about the ability to associate sounds with letters and then using those sounds to pronounce words when reading and to form words when spelling. Students demonstrate their alphabetic principle skills by identifying correctly the sounds that letters make, the letter sound correspondences, and also through word reading. Research on the alphabetic principle suggests it's a prerequisite to effective word identification, that again, a difference in skills with the alphabetic principle is something that sets apart your good readers and your poor readers. And there is a lot of research to suggest that targeting phonological awareness and letter sound correspondence, or the alphabetic principle, are the 2 critical components for successful early reading, that these 2 targets need to be included in early reading instruction. The third big idea in reading is reading fluency, which is the ability to read accurately and quickly and automatically. So it's reading words without any cognitive effort. So children who are fluent readers, they can identify those letter sound correspondence accurately and quickly to decode words with automaticity, and they use spelling patterns to decode efficiently. So they're not even thinking about breaking down the words, but they are reading quickly and accurately. There's a great deal of evidence suggesting that reading fluency allows students to focus on the meaning of text. That is the ultimate goal. The purpose of reading is for students to understand, for you to comprehend the material and be able to use that. And reading fluency allows that to happen. So if you can read the text quickly and accurately, automatically, then you don't have to devote cognitive resources to decoding, and reading isn't tedious and laborious, and it allows you to simply understand the material. But it needs to be well developed to support comprehension. And we also know that students who read fluently read more, which leads to academic gains across the board. Vocabulary is another critical reading skill, especially because it's linked to comprehension. Vocabulary refers to the ability to understand and use words to acquire and convey meaning. So understanding reading material, but then also being able to communicate verbally and in writing. There is plenty of research highlighting the importance of vocabulary knowledge on overall school success, especially because of that link to reading comprehension. And children who are exposed to more vocabulary through speech and reading will have significantly greater vocabulary growth rates. When you went to the Big Ideas in Beginning Reading website, there are tables in there showing you the differences in the numbers and qualities of vocabulary words that students are exposed to from different backgrounds, and those really have a major impact on how students progress in school, how their vocabulary develops, and then in turn how their reading skills develop. The fifth big idea is comprehension, which refers to the interaction between the reader and the text to convey meaning. We know that good comprehension is linked to good decoding skills. So students really do need those kind of prerequisite skills to have the phonemic awareness, the alphabetic principle, and the fluency to be good at comprehension. And we also know that time spent reading is highly correlated with comprehension. So again, the more fluent the student is with reading, the more material they're going to read, the more time they spend reading, the better they're going to be at understanding the material.